me mixed signals. Let's be honest, you want some dick in you. Or you don't. I don't know.
Baby, you got what I need. But you say I'm just a.
Nah.
You say I'm just a.
Fuck out of here.
Stop playing with me.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.
Alright, we back. Alright, where we left off at, got to the point where you were making $1 million a day. How?
Well, you know, it started off slow.
Right.
You know, when I first started, it was $20 a week. You know what I'm saying? But I was determined to make it in this business. You know, I understood that I didn't have many options. You know, it was make it there or go to prison stealing cars. So
Right.
For me, it was making it in cocaine.
So what was your daily regimen?
So get up and hit the block.
What time?
7 o'clock.
7 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You on the block. Till when?
1, 2 in the morning.
So you're getting about 5 hours sleep.
If that sometimes. You know, sometimes you stay out there all day. You know, maybe don't change clothes for 2 or 3 days. Same clothes, you know. It was, you know, it was a grind.
Right.
And I fell in love with it. You know, I fell in love with it like I fell in love with tennis. You know, you know, they say when you got addiction, you need another addiction to take that away from you. You know, cars have become that after a while, and then it became the cocaine became that, where it didn't even matter about the money no more. I wasn't hustling for money no more. I was just hustling just to see how big I could get.
How big did you believe that you could get? Because we gonna get back to the obituary thing.
I don't know. I mean, you know, I had days I do 250 kilos.
250 kilos.
In one day, yeah.
That's crazy. When did the CIA
And
get
and I mean, if you know, somebody they asked me like, who was the biggest between you and Meech, and you know they compare to a lot of people, and one of the things that I understand, see, I had crooked cops come in my case. I had cops that the city was saying that they needed to find out who this guy was, this Freeway Rick guy who everybody in LA had been bragging about was making all this money. So they formed what they call the Freeway Task Force. And these cops were supposed to have been the most elite cops probably in the country. And their job was to track me down. But they couldn't find out who I was because of, you know, I don't drive a certain car. You know, I probably got like 25 cars, but they buckets, you know, like $5,000 cars, $4,000 cars. So I would just be driving a car and I see one of my other cars. I park that one and get another car just to switch up. Mm-hmm. So I was hard to find. So these cops, what they did is they started planting drugs where they didn't need to catch you with drugs. They just wanted to catch you. And then they already had the drugs in their car.
Right.
So
then they could get a warrant. They could do all.
They made up their warrants too. These cops, they made up their own warrants. I mean, these cops was probably the most ruthless cops that ever existed. You know, all these scars in my face. They did that while I was handcuffed. Let the dog bite me all on my legs. I got marks all on my legs while I was handcuffed. The dogs bit me up. So when they started playing like that, I couldn't win. You know, no way you're gonna beat them if they got the drugs in the trunk of their car, you know, when they see you. And then they don't even have to catch you. They just say that they saw you drop these drugs on the ground. In my case, they didn't catch me. You know, I got away. I ran and got away from them. So what they did is they took pictures of the drugs on the ground and put in the police report that I dropped it. They saw me drop the drugs.
And you say you ran away. Like, break down that scenario.
Well, one night we was coming from a basketball gym and I had two of my guys with me and I was taking them to their car.
Oh, you balled?
Huh?
You play
A little
ball?
bit, a little bit.
A little bit.
You know,
A little bit.
right.
Right.
I'm an athlete, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know,
Right.
I was quick, agile, hell of an endurance. You know, my endurance was crazy, you know, from playing 10. Well, I used to run 5 miles every other day.
Wow.
So I had endurance, didn't smoke, didn't drink, you know.
So you're coming from the basketball court.
Yeah, so I'm taking them to get their car. We passing by my tire shop, and we see all the fellas hanging out playing shooting dice. It was like 20, 30 dudes on the floor shooting dice. And so I ain't saw these dudes in weeks because I know these cops, you know, put a thing out, they gonna kill me if they see me. So so I'm gonna holler at the fellas for a quick second. When we leave, the whole dice gang leave with me. It's like a mob of dudes come out of the place and you know, send me off. But I don't know, the cops are just coming from raiding one of my boys' houses. He in the car with him. He's sitting in the backseat of the car. And so he hearing the whole conversation. So it's crazy, you know, later on when me and him talking, he was like, man, yeah, they say, man, just pass by Big Palace of Wheels and see what's going on. This is what the cops is telling each other. They're just gonna pass by my place just to see, you know, what's going on. Well, it just so happened this night, I'm coming out the building when they passing by. So I go and get in my car, because I got my car parked in the alley. So I jump in my car and we rolling. All of a sudden I see these cars coming behind me with no lights on. So I tell Ollie, my boy, man, somebody behind us with their lights out. So first thing he says, some jackers. So he pulled his strap out and he like, man, as soon as they pull up, I'm gonna give it to him. So we rolling, we pull up to the stoplight. He got his pistol held up. We got tinted windows, the cops got tinted windows. So they let their window down and you could see the badge on their jackets that it was police. And he knew the cops because they had just raided his house a couple weeks before. And he was like, oh man, that's that motherfucking Tomar. You know, Tomar said, he gonna kill you. So when he told me that, I just smashed, went through the red light. So we got a high-speed chase. We going through LA, high-speed chasing. And I know that I gotta get out of this car fast because, you know, it's a steel car. So we know how the helicopter works.
Right.
So I know I got to get here before the helicopter comes. The helicopter coming. I already know the helicopter on its way.
Right.
So I got to ditch these cops before the helicopter get there. So I hit a couple corners and I just jump out the car. The car keep rolling.
Right.
I run through some backyards. I wind up getting away, jump on a bus, catch a bus. I get away. So my boys, who they didn't get out the car. You know, they like, we ain't jumping out no car. So they see the cop go in his trunk, take the kilos out of his trunk, sit him on the ground, and take pictures of him. They put on the news that I shot at the cops, I was armed and dangerous, and I dropped 2 kilos of cocaine.
Just drop them. Just,
Yep.
That's
So now they got a warrant for my arrest, armed and dangerous, all over the news. I'm all over the news. Every channel, they publish it. This is like 85. You know, my mom called me crying, boy, you gotta turn yourself in. She make me turn myself in. So when I get out, I can't sell dope in LA no more because I know that these cops is gonna do the same thing. If they ever catch me again, it's gonna be the same program. So
when you turned yourself in, you ate those charges?
They say money change niggas. If you a real nigga, ain't gonna change much about you. But it will bring some snakes around you. Pray for counsel when you find out what that cake amount to.
Let's go.
Lord, I'm so thankful for your blessing. I ain't stressing cause I'm focused on the cash route. Satan's still working overtime, but I pay him no mind, and that's probably what he mad about. I be hopping on planes, touching clouds, while these haters and these thirsty ass bitches trying to grab clout. Praying to you please keep the police off me if I ever gotta take one of they ass out.